Good morning and welcome to Pulse Siasa. Welcome to our this week's edition of Pulse Siasa. This is a show where we discuss matters leadership and politics, and we like to address ourselves to issues that concern the youth of Kenya. And today we have such an exciting topic for you. We'll be discussing the seat and the role of a woman representative in the counties. But first, apologies for beginning a bit late. The fuel crisis affected one of our panelists, but we're glad that she was able to join us. Today we are joined by Anita Epale, who's vying for woman representative in Nairobi. Anita is a former student leader from the UN and participates as a woman representative in the Bunge la Wananchi. She's also a lobbyist and has worked with a number of politicians over the years. Anita, how are you this morning?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm happy to be here. It's a privilege for you inviting us and also giving us the space to ensure that we eliminate, we enlighten the society about the roles of women representative. I want to assure them by the end of this conversation, they will realize that women representative seat is not a flower girl seat.
Yeah, we are hoping so. Thank you so much for making the time to be with us today, Anita. We're also joined by Gedhia Mamo. She might be familiar to you. She's a diplomacy and advocacy expert, and she holds a master's in governance, peace, and conflict management. Gedhia is vying for woman representative in Marsabit County. How are you, Gedhia?
Fine, thank you.
I'm pronouncing your name right?
Gedhia.
Oh, nice. Yes. Nice to learn. Welcome to the show and thank you for making the time to be with us. From the poster, we had two other ladies who are scheduled to be with us today. Alice Gaveki and Emma Wangari. They've sent their apologies. They were held up at last minute and they couldn't be here today, but we are fit to have this conversation with these lovely ladies. And let's just get right down to it. How is the political atmosphere? You've been campaigning for months. We are having the primaries this week. I'm sure it's a very, very busy week for you. How is it going down there? We can start with Gedhia.
It's getting tougher as we're getting closer to the D-Day, and especially this week with primaries. It's a bit, probably that's why our colleagues would have cancelled on you. So it's crazy. You know, political parties are mostly owned by men, and it's a bit harder for the women, especially that are not running for a woman rep seat, because they're competing with men. Coming down to our seat still. The men will have their friends and families who may be running, owners of the party, so that a bit
also presents a challenge.
But yeah, we're doing good. Yeah, it's going okay so far.
Wow. We'll get into more of those challenges that you're talking about. We'd like to understand that landscape. How's it going for you, Anita?
I think not mostly about how it's going down for me, but I think it's a bigger challenge, especially for our coalition parties, because when we have a coalition, this is like an intermarriages. You realize in a family where you used to be one person, now you have so many children, and all of them have to be catered for, all of them have to be represented, and also it's a challenge for the common mwananchi, because now they're going through a process whereby you are being asked between all these people who have shown interest, told you about the ideas, the manifesto. You are now in a process whereby you don't know who will do exactly what they have promised in the next 5 years, because this is a period of also a lot of empty promises. Let me say, if I'm allowed to use the word empty promises from our politician. Everyone is willing to do everything for you. So you're wondering, will they really deliver? Parties are just vehicles to carry our candidates from one level to another. Now everyone is being given that challenge to make a decision. So it's a challenge for common mwananchi, it's a challenge for the party leadership, it's also a challenge for the electorate.
Yeah, even vying. Let's start there, and you could maybe tell us where you're vying under, whether you're in the Azimio side or the Kenya Kwanza side. Please go into details and tell us. And as you give us that answer, tell us why you decided to vie. I'm sure with your experience, because you're professionals and you've been in this political space for a while, you already know what challenges women face. So why did you decide to vie, knowing everything that you'd encounter? Here's Anita.
First and foremost, when I decided to go for the seat of women representative, I did not decide on my own. Most of the time, people will say to decide, let me vie for this seat. That wasn't the case for me. I've been doing a lot of community-based empowering in our communities in Kibra, Mathare, Kariobangi. So women approached me and told me, tunataka tukupe kiti ya women. They told me wanataka kunipea hiyo kiti. It never crossed my mind I'll ever one day I'll go for the seat of women rep, because one, I'm still a youth. There's financial implications when you're vying for this big seat. Being at 26 years old, I just graduated the other day last year from Nairobi University. It was a big challenge for me. But then in the words of the former, she's called Joyce, she said leadership is not about the amount of money you have, it's not about the education you have, it's about your willingness to offer service to humanity. So for me it came as a surprise. It was a challenge which I decided to take on, because growing up, being born and raised in the slums, I resonate mostly with the issues that faced our mothers, our youth, and the people with disabilities along the streets of Nairobi.
Such a noble task. It even sounds like a calling. Gedia, why did you decide to?
I decided to get into politics, and just to surprise you a bit, I was running for the gubernatorial seat in Marsabit County.
Yes.
But as Kenyans are already aware, Northern Kenya is carved with negotiated democracy, and at where we are, I wouldn't want to, 100% try to
even
go
ruin your
against
chances.
culture and ruin my chances in future. So when they said shelf your ambitions now, just come back some other years when you're a bit older, I sat and thought there was a reason for this seat in the first place. It's an affirmative action seat, so that they can see women can actually get into politics and be leaders. So I said, instead of just waiting till I get older, as advised by the elders back at home, I said, I'm going to get into this. And my main reason is for it's about insecurity in my county. Mostly it's two major communities. We have 14 communities, but there's two that are majority in numbers. And those are the ones that you'll find will always form coalitions and get into government and the elected positions. And if the one that doesn't get the seat feels like they've been left out for 5 years. The 2 terms it's been community A got, and then the next time the other community got. Not so much difference. Conflict has been going on. People are killing each other as late as yesterday. And I feel like if a governor is from either of the major communities, if he speaks, it'd be like, he doesn't mean it. He just belongs to the other community. So I thought, I am from a minority community, and so I asked myself, so what's my role as a woman, as a youth, and as a person from minority community, Marsabit? And I thought I would be a neutral a peacemaker, an ambassador for peace. So that is my main role. I thought when I'm in a political space, I'll be able to speak about this. I'll be able to advocate more for this. Because you ask my residents and they'll say they have issues. They think this lack of peace, this conflict is because of the leaders. So I'm thinking maybe it's because they're from the major communities and the ones that are killing each other. So I can be a neutral person. That is my number one major reason for getting in this soon. But otherwise, politics for me is a career.
You've chosen to pursue it.
I've been in governance. My background is governance. My first degree is in diplomacy, still governance. So for me, it's a career. And again, the third reason is I want to be a role model for especially Northern Kenya women and girls. I was asked by BBC sometime if I have a role model in political space in Northern Kenya, and I wouldn't name one. And I'm thinking,
there's a gap.
There's a gap. Because I can't relate with Michelle Obama and say she's my role model. Our cultures, even our just way of lives are very different. I can come from northern Kenya. I'm looking at Michelle. It's okay, but it doesn't resonate well with the girls and back in Marsabit. So those are my 3 main reasons.
And we can hear from you that you're also coming from, the counties are so different, because speaking of Nairobi doesn't have too many, maybe crime issues, not insecurity as such, and Marsabit is a whole different ball game, of course, with the culture also going on. And that leads me to my next question, though no one has spoken about their coalition yet. I hope we'll circle back to that, but let's go to my next question was, what are these challenges that you're facing as women vying in political spaces? I'm sure for you, get there, it will be so complicated because there's also the culture dynamic in it. But could you speak maybe to some of the general issues you see in the political space for women in Kenya?
I'd say just being a woman is the #1 challenge. As an African culture, we're thinking we can't be leaders. I mean, it's a culture that is slowly fading, but coming closer home, we're starting to even talk about it. We're discussing that women can actually be leaders. We're discussing it now. So just being born a woman is a challenge. Again, if you're not 50s and 60s, it becomes a challenge if you're a youth. I'm almost crossing the youth, but when I get there, I'll refuse. I'll remain a youth. Like every other politician. I'm 34 years, and you can know that will come in line with financial muscles. We will not have that. She'll agree, because again, Africa doesn't allow a woman, even if I was older, it'd still be a challenge compared to a male counterpart, because we're not allowed to inherit, we're not allowed to own, assets. We run it's the smallest of businesses. So finances will always be a challenge. Again, I'd say where I come from, culture is a bit problem. Again, negotiated democracy poses a challenge for me, because I am from a very minority community. So because politics is numbers. So I'll be the last person to be negotiated with. So by the time they come to me, then all the seats are taken. So you have to be courageous, you have to just be daring to come from Marsabit, a pastoral a nomadic community, and be a woman and be a youth and be from a minority and run for a seat. But you have to chase your dream.
Okay, Anita, what are the challenges you faced?
First and foremost, I think I got into politics. I've been in campus politics for the longest time. I've been a student leader in Nairobi University. We used to call it SONU. It was a tug of war for you to be a leader. Kama hujazoea tear gas, and it was chaotic. When I got outside, then I realized, what were we fighting for? Clearly in campus, what were we rebelling? What were we really fighting for? Because in terms of money, it wasn't that good money. Let's say, like the seat I was vying for finance secretary, we used to earn around 10,000. But people will literally fight and kill each other for that. So when I came outside politics, well, in campus, I'll get women politicians who will support me, who will walk me through the journey. So coming outside to the national politics, I think I came out a bit naive. I'll perceive a bit naive. I expected women to support women. I expected them to love you, to embrace you. Then I realized now you're in a very big jungle. Everyone is fighting for their spaces. And the more young people are getting, especially women, are getting into political spaces, is the way more women who are already there, not all of them, I'm saying, some of the women feel like you are coming to push them out of the game. So there have been that challenge of me expecting women to hold my hand, to walk with me, to support me. Then I had to wake up, as in I had to have a wake-up call that everyone is fighting for their life, everyone is fighting for their future. They don't want you to be there. Others will tell you they're supporting you, but they really don't mean it. That's one of the biggest challenge personally I've faced, and I believe also you've faced the same challenge. The second thing I faced was financial. When I got into politics, I expected to face the financial challenges because Kenyan politicians have already made our politics to be more finance than what you than your manifesto and your policies. I've met many politicians who are vying for MPs, even for gubernatorial seat, who really don't know what they want to do for the people of Nairobi.
Wow.
But they know they'll come, say a few words like Ria, Nini,
give 100 bob.
Yeah, give 100 tau, and people get satisfied. Then also, it's a challenge because now we are, every single day when I go to the ground is like I'm I don't know why this word is it's like I'm enlightening voters. Is it okay for you to have 5,000 shillings today? For the next 5 years, you'll not see this person. So is really the money you're being given today worth it for the next 5 years? This another question I keep on posing to our youth. 5 years from today, depending on the government that you're going to choose, your ID will say something different with your physical appearance. If you make bad decision in leadership, you'll not be employed, you'll be jobless, you'll be, you know, the way the burden of life will make, and depression, you'll be so tired. In 5 years time, your ID will be saying you're still a youth, but your physical appearance, because of the hardship and the challenges you have gone through life and the bad leadership that you chose, but still, we still have a long way to go because people still put money forward. You'll still talk to them, then at the end of the day they tell you, how much do you have? Okay, it's all right, how much do you So finance has been really a big challenge. Lack of support, especially from the people who are ahead of me that I thought will support and hold my hands. There's also the you know, I expect sexism, the way society view women. They feel like, wewe unafaa ukwe nyumbani unapika. Why are you struggling with politics? We will provide. Wengine, others will tell you, no, wewe ni mrembo, wenda tu uolewe, huwezi kosa mtu wa kukuoa. And then there's also that let me say it's something that people have grown to think or to brand women who get into politics that are not upright, that are not straight, they're not how can they
must be promiscuous,
good so
scandalous,
rude. So when you're in politics, people really tend to like, ule asharibu maisha, ule si wa kuolewa, ule wacha, you know, there's that thing. But when I got into politics, I remember before, when those women convinced me, then I went to my church. I talked to my spiritual mother. I told her, I'm going to politics, Mom, but I don't have money. I don't have money, and I don't know how I'm going to walk through this. One thing she told me, and she still insists to this day, do not conform. Because out here, I've met many politicians who are willing to finance me, they're willing to support me. Others, they're telling me, me, I'll make sure you're somewhere. Even women that tunataka, I'll make sure you get the tickets. But now they want, you know, they want sexual favors, they want something in return. And then there's also the way politics has been known. When you are doing your politics in a clean way, you might lack the media publicity and stuff. Because media also, forgive me, you're also in media. Forgive me, you love drama, you love people who are doing weird stuff. So when you're running a clean politics, you're running issue-based politics. There's a way media tend to ignore you, like, we are not drama, we are nini anataka. So there have been a challenge of media, there's a financial challenge, there's a lack of support, and then there's also been a woman is already a big challenge in itself.
That in itself. Thank you for breaking it down in detail. At least those are things that would be familiar even to our viewers. And thank you all who are joining us on Facebook and even on YouTube. We are live. Thank you for sending in your questions and your comments. I can see already why Roger says women reps are supposed to be setting policies to soften the blow, he's put that in quotes, on issues facing the girl child and other so-called marginalized groups. In Kenya, they are used as political flower girls, but the other perceived bigger leadership positions such as governor, senator, and national government. So Wairo, thank you so much for your comment, and thank you for even raising that issue. That is why we invited the ladies here to even address such an issue, so we can get right into it, and maybe here we could get into now the negotiated politics that we've touched on here and there, with the primaries going on. On Sunday, we saw that in Nairobi, specifically like for the UDA party, Karen Nyamu was forced to step down from her bid of being senator. And like I saw online that most of her supporters were a bit, they didn't like that move. So could you tell us how that maybe has affected you in the various seats that you're vying for?
First of all, I'm in Azimio.
Okay.
And I'm with Jubilee. I'm just lucky I'm not going through primaries because back home, there were 8 of us running for this seat. So none of us want to go primaries with the other. So we kind of are consulting each other. Are you in this party? Are you? We are communicating because we're all avoiding. To do primaries, it's hectic. So that has coming down home helped us. So I'd say none of our women rep aspirants are going to go through primaries because they're all, unless now the coalition thing comes, because we have one on ANC and we have one in UDA.
Okay.
If they decide we're doing zoning and so one of you will drop, then that may be a problem. But just as an advice also, it wouldn't be something that would work with Marsabit. Like I said, we're vying, yes, but it's again tribal.
Yeah.
I know, for instance, if you tell me, well, I'm a minority. Let me use the larger ones. If you tell my competitor on UDA to drop for the lady in ANC, they will not. The electorate back at home will not take it nicely.
Okay,
they'll be thinking, they dropped a Gabra for Borana, they dropped a Borana for Gabra. So as coalitions are also thinking of zoning, I wouldn't think it. I feel it's not good for part of the country.
Regions, okay.
It will bring more conflict where I come from. The electorate will be looking at. So Ruto decided to drop Borana.
Okay.
They will not be thinking of the person. They do not understand the coalition thing. So that's an advice that would go to the coalitions also. But like I said, we are all in different parties. But seeing our ladies, I would foretell that if you're going for primaries with a man for gubernatorial seat, for an MCA, for an MP, or a senatorial seat, you're definitely going to be dropped. Okay. Because first of all, our Kenyan men are thinking, I see these ones have their special seats. Why are they running for the women rep seat? So I would expect. So going forward, I would advise our ladies, let's try to avoid primaries with men. If you're going for this other posts that you're competing with men. I mean, like we said, all the political parties are men-owned, first of all. So they'll favor each other. And number 2, they're thinking the senatorial, gubernatorial, MCAs and member of parliament seats are for men. They still want to be majority. They feel even this women rep seat is already kind of marginalizing the men, which is not true, but that is what they feel. So in future, let's avoid, because again, as a woman running independent is almost impossible with all the challenges. Would be like, see, she doesn't even have people to run with, now she's running alone. That will still be used
makes it even worse.
Makes it even worse.
Wow.
So I mean, I would even tell them not to even waste the resources trying to go independent after this. Support the person. Let's also just be sober. Just support the person they asked you to support for your future. So that 2027 you come back and they'll be remembering Nyamu actually dropped her bid and she accepted and she supported our person. Maybe we can support her this time. So we also need to be diplomatic because we are growing in politics as women.
That's such a great point. Anita, what do you feel about negotiated politics?
In Azimio, we actually have 3 ways of solving it. There were party primaries going through the voting system, then there's universal suffrage, and now the concession is talking amongst ourselves. The beginning, when we started this conversation, I said, we are now a big family in Azimio. I'm in ODM. I've been a member of Orange Democratic Movement for a long time. I don't think anywhere else I can fit in anywhere else. I cannot fit anywhere else. I can only fit where Raila Amolo Odinga is.
Wow.
Yes. So there are sacrifices that has to be made, and I know I'm 100% sure they're going to be made. And if you're a good player, you know, politics is like football. politics and football are just the same. When a coach tell you this round kaa kwa bench, let others take this, they have their reasons. They know why we need certain person to take us through the next level. So I expect there will be democracy in terms of negotiation, and also we will be advised why so and so is preferred to carry the flag of this. There are so many factors that are being checked into or look at. There is loyalty to the party. There is your ability to interact and to convince people to bring vote, because we are teams. We are going to compete with another team. So we are trying to consolidate our best players who will face another team. So we want people who are willing, people who know it's a calling for them, because politics and also it's like any other career. It has to be a calling. When you feel you're somewhere and you're being forced to do something, you will not deliver to your level best. So those are the things that will be looked at, and also the most preferred another important issue that will be checked is about the voters, because we cannot impose someone to the people of Nairobi or the people of Mombasa, Uasin Gishu, Isiolo, Mandera. We cannot do that. There is also that aspect of checking who is the most favorable candidate. We'll check that. There is a tribal factor. Let us not lie to ourselves. Our country is still very tribal. There is also the issue of checking of numbers. As she has said, she comes from a minority group, so there's also that things that have been considered, your numbers, the way you interact with the people, and also if you can deliver the seat. So personally, if you're a good player, also you don't move out of the team because you have not been given an opportunity to play to lead this round. You just support the person who will be told to support whoever. Like for my race, I'm going against Esther Mdhoni Pasaris. There's Keta Kwamboka, there's Elizabeth Ongoro. And then on the Jubilee side, we have Wambui Nganga, Cecilia Kariuki. We are around 9 to 10 women reps. In the end of the day, we need one person. So all of us, I believe, you will not move. If you are an Arsenal player, you've been told, bench, you don't quit the team. You don't quit the team. You support the team so that we achieve the end goal, because in the end of the day, if we are going to we are going to be in the government. We need Raila Amolo Odinga, who is our incoming 5th president. Need people at the Senate, need people at the parliament, you need people at the county assembly. These now are like the soldiers. You know, when you want to pass something, you need to have all those in lines. So in the end of the day, we have to support our political parties. And that's a very important issue that you've raised, especially now for us in the electorate. You know, we watch it and you see your favorite candidate has had to step down. You're left wondering, okay, so now who do I vote for? You've removed my candidate. So I think that is well in, at least now the voters out there understand what is going on.
And I think the voters sometimes push you because you've not gone through primaries. They think, you can't, you have, the ground is for yours, so go. At the end of the day, go independent. You see where you go independent and you won't go anywhere.
You flop and the career is over.
The ground is not yours. So peer electorates should just understand. We are a team. But then if one of us goes and the other, just support each other, like I said. But then also there's also a very important aspect that people forget. When you're going for the seat of governor, you're going for the seat of women rep, MP, MCAs. These people don't really have die-hard supporters. All of us, depending on who is going for the presidential seat, we are depending like 60% on their numbers. That's why when we have something like by-election, you see a place where I can have a total number of voters of 800,000, only 10,000 people show. Because it is not a presidential contest. So all of us are depending on the we are tied to Raila Amolo Odinga. I might be a Luhya, but no Luhyas will come out to vote for me. Me alone vying, they will not come out. But because there's Raila Amolo Odinga on the top, they'll all come out. So no individual who is going for this seat. That's why we did not
all of us have our own independent parties.
Yeah.
We are depending on the political parties. So no one has really die-hard supporters. So in case you're not given the opportunity, there is always next time. And then there's something wanasemanga serikali ni kubwa. Now that is
the party will take care of you. Let's hope the party will take care of you.
Your people. So you just assure your supporters on the ground. We will work closely with the person who will be given the ticket with the gubernatorial seat. We ensure that there is compromise also. Whatever you wanted to do for the people, incorporate with also what I wanted to do for the people, and we'll find a way forward to deliver for the voters of our people.
Thank you so much, ladies. And I can see we have such engagement online. There's a comment that has disappeared from me, but let's get back to our discussion. Thank you for clarifying those points. It's important to understand those things, because as the voters in this election, sometimes we watch politicians and we are not sure what's happening now, and it can become something that agitates even the people. So it's important to understand it. Can a man vie for the woman rep seat? Now let's discuss this seat that people have wanted to scrap off. They basically think, as you've heard from Wairo, these are flower girls. So should we retain this seat? And can a man also be invited to vie? What do you think, Gedia?
No. Well, it's an affirmative action seat, number one. This was a seat that was introduced at the referendum into the Constitution of 2010, so that women get more involved in politics and in parliament. So the Constitution, I think chapter 8, article 87 is about who makes up the parliament. And part B says 47 women elected at the counties. So it's a definite no. A man cannot run for the seat. Because it's in the Constitution and it's the supreme law
that clarified
So it's for women. So if we allow men to run, we're back to zero. You know, we'll elect men again into the positions of women rep, and then we're not implementing.
We're back to square one.
We're back to zero.
And do you think it's a seat that should remain? Because there were those debates during the BBI time that we should eliminate it, we should do away with it, it's wasting our money.
It was a short-term thing initially, true. But then I think we are rushing it. First of all, we want to get women to do this thing that is new to them, that the culture has bade them to do. I mean, I feel most women feel okay in the kitchen and serving. And we're suddenly being told, come out here, address a crowd of thousands, talk about, make policies, oversight, president. Then you're giving me maybe 5 or 10 years to get me into it is a bit not fair. I think it should be here longer so that we can measure. That it's been done. Again, I would urge, if you elected as a woman rep, and then perform, speak in parliament, contribute to those legislations, you know, and stop giving sanitary towels, as in that's all what we are associated with. Give us longer term solutions. Can we manufacture these things instead of giving tents and plastic chairs? Can we have a longer solution for these problems so that this seat can make sense? So that when you're mentioned, women can actually contribute, they can actually speak in parliament, they can actually bring longer term solutions. As it is now, it's called flower girls because we're not speaking in parliament. We can count very few who are actually talking out of the 47. I mean, so that makes it a flower. I would blame those that have gone ahead of us. I'll just talk about my county, and I would say I will not want to go in their steps because I feel like they failed me. I will not speak for the rest of the 46 counties, just for my county. So that will make my electors feel I'll go, I don't even see the need of it. So if I'm elected, I'll actually want to bring it out and say it actually is important. It actually is a stepping stone for me to get into politics, and then next time run for the gubernatorial seat. And they see, well, she's grown. She can actually do this, you know. So again, senators have failed us, and most of them are men. But you will not what are they? Not flower boys now.
Yeah.
What will we call them?
Page boys.
Page boys. We will not call them that.
Yeah.
Governors have failed us. Corruption has been devolved. Nepotism as its worst at the counties. We will not talk about this thing. So even the society is focused about this one seat that is occupied by a woman.
Yeah.
And we're actually just demoralizing women, and you know, we're shooting women more while the governors are failing, the senators are failing. MCAs in my county, out of 20, only 2 are women. But people will not talk about what they have not done. They have not oversighted the county government. So let us also a bit be lenient on women, because it's a new thing. Devolution was new for everyone, and women rep city is actually new to all of us. Even worse than devolution. So give us some time, take us slowly. Yeah. But even us, when we're elected, let us do our best.
Yeah. That's a very nice call. Anita, what do you think? Should we retain the woman rep seat? Is it valuable?
First and foremost, where I come from Western Kenya. In Western Kenyan, women for the longest time, through the cultural background, have been viewed as watu wa jikoni, watu wa kulea watoto, watu wa punching bags, so many things. Women have never been viewed as leaders. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Raila Amolo Odinga for bringing devolution, because in places like Kisii, where my sister come from, Marsabit, Luo Nyanza, you'll never find anyone, I'm telling you, voting for a woman anywhere. So the seat of women rep was brought, now this is on political side, like to force them to have a woman. So they, as in, let's not lie to ourselves, I'm also partly a feminist. Men loathe women, like they hate us so much. So there's no way they will have voted for a woman anywhere. But also, when we are, aside from leadership, let's come to, aside from politics, let's come to the corporate world. I don't know why they trust women to be CEOs of big companies. And most companies that are thriving, they're actually led by women. I don't see why they fear us so much into the political world. Whereas in this,
maybe it's because we are actually that good.
Yes, we are. But in the corporate world, there's so many questions. Like, they can lead in the corporate, but will not allow them. We found women who, like, a good example, let's not go far away from home. We have Keroche, who has brought an industry from nothing to where it is right now. We have this one, Sarah Kabu of Bonfire Adventures. Women have proven themselves over and over again that they can deliver. They can be good managers, they can be good legislature, they can be good oversights, they can come up with good laws.
They can be Chief Justice of Kenya.
Yes. Breaking the glass ceiling, I'm telling you. So I don't know why when we come to politics, we want to pin women so much down. We don't want to give them time to prove themselves also. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday who told me, she's currently working in Tanzania. She told me, when they invited me for this company to work, it was going down the drain. So they wanted me to fail, so that in the end of the day we say I'll fail because she's a woman. But now it has peaked. They want to transfer me again.
Oh no.
You know, so that's
so unfair.
That's how the society is so unfair to the women. The role of the seat of women rep now was created for them, at least for women to prove themselves. They can deliver. And also it's an affirmative action seat, because we wanted to give women who really love politics, who want to represent their people, an easier way. We are still on the political side of this seat. We wanted to give them an easier platform for them to get into politics, power and politics. Because it's only a place where women are fighting against women. That's why we will not want a man to fight for this seat, because for the longest time women have been seen or have been viewed as vulnerable. I also advise the women in our society today, as much as we have been viewed as vulnerable people, their place, you don't have to be aggressive. Their place, you have to be use it for your advantage. I tell women, use it for your advantage. Where you need to be aggressive, be aggressive. Where you don't need to, you know, I know women are so smart. We know what we can achieve.
Yeah.
When you're vulnerable, you can get your point home. When you're aggressive, you can also get your point home. So sometimes allow to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
So this seat was created for women who want to be in politics, but then they're not ready for the struggle, the muscles and stuff. It also a seat, I like saying it's a seat ya walemavu, inakupatia ka jump start. That's why when a woman rep go for 2 terms, it's a platform.
Yeah.
Shikilia mara moja, inuka, enda look for anini ule kama constituency, now you
senator,
Senate or governor and stuff. So that's the second reason for this seat. The third reason was our parliament was full of, you know, the role of women rep, they play the same role with MPs.
Yeah.
So our parliament was full of men dominants who were speaking about many issues. So we wanted to have a feminine side of it, to have also the women issues being represented.
Yeah.
The issues of the people who are minority also to be represented.
Yeah.
The issue of the vulnerable widows, single mothers also to be represented. That's the reason why we had the seat of women rep.
Yeah.
Because a man cannot talk about the menstrual health issues.
Yeah.
He understands nothing of those. Even if you read that, there are things through experience, you can speak more and better about it. There are mental health issues, there are abusive marriages issues. There's so much enlightenment about women that we really needed representation. That's why this seat was there.
Was
created.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that. We can go to our comments even as we come to the close of our show. Maureen Kinyanjui says, Gedia, that is the way to go. Girls from the north need women like you to look up to. So you're already achieving that role model. You're already becoming a role model for someone. Fuamba, NC Fuamba, gubernatorial candidate in Nairobi. We had him on the show last time. He says, all the best, Anita. Don't forget to also mobilize Nairobi women for Baba the 5th. That's what Fuamba is telling you. Wairoje has also sent in another question. Pulse Kenya, kindly ask the two ladies, if elected, what would they do differently from their predecessors who have been performing dismally, especially on matters policy? Could you answer, Wairo? What do you tend to do differently from... In Nairobi, we've had Shebesh, we've had Pasaris. I've forgotten the Marsabit ladies, but you could name them also. What are you planning to do differently from those who went before you? We can start with Gedia.
The two that came before me in Marsabit was Nasra Ibrahim from 2013, and then Safia Sheikh, the incumbent now. I don't even know what to say at it doing differently. They did zero.
Ooh. All right. So now you're planning to actually do something.
Yes. Like my current woman rep. I go around for my campaigns and they're asking me, what's the name of the current one?
Oh, no.
And are you going to just go disappear on us, go for maternity leave for 5 years?
Okay.
So I wouldn't want to go for maternity leave for
your full term.
My full term. But then again, I would just say, not doing it differently. Let me just say, I know my role when elected as a woman rep. I know it's legislation, number one. And you know, government does legislations for 5, 10, 25 years.
Yeah.
So if you're quiet about it, it means your women back at home are going to suffer because you did not speak.
Yeah.
Like I would just start with something as simple as drilling a borehole in Marsabit.
Yeah.
If it's all men speaking, they will know there has to be a borehole somewhere. They don't know. They don't care.
They don't even know where the water comes from. It's always in the home.
Yeah. So it's my role and say, hey, the population of women are here.
Yeah.
And women actually fetch water on their backs.
Yeah.
And so I think if you put it huku ni mbali sana, let's put it here.
Yes.
Why don't we just pipe water from there to here? Those are the things that the country is planning to do in 5 years.
Yeah.
Or in 10 years.
Yeah.
So the main thing, first of all, women wanajulikana kwa kuongea. We talk a lot. We've been branded as very talkative. And I don't see us talking in parliament.
Yeah.
I would use the talkative what is it, stereotype that has been put on me in Parliament.
Yeah.
I will speak.
Yeah, what Anita was saying, use your vulnerability.
Yes, speak on the issues of Marsabit women, maternal health.
Yeah.
You know, we have structures in the name of dispensaries all over that do not even have a simple paracetamol, let alone a nurse.
Wow.
So these are the things I would put it captured, that this number of dispensaries and no nurses, no medicine. So put that in your budget. Again, we have a role in the budget in Parliament. It's for us to identify this project that will change lives of women and girls and the other vulnerable groups. And then you're again given you know, a space to actually budget for this. So you have identified a project and you're given again to budget. I mean, it's a very good sit. So you put it in budget. And then again, you as a woman rep, you can oversight. Has this been implemented? Does it give a long-term solution? So these are the roles that I haven't seen my predecessors do, and this is something I actually have a big task because my electorates are saying, what is it for? I mean, I'm not going to vote for that seat. Better don't waste your resources going around because it's really even ashamed us. So I have a bigger task of changing it, saying it can actually work. This seat is not for flower. I'm not going to shut my mouth in Parliament. I'm going to speak. So that's the roles. I think we gone about it. Maybe Nairobi is different.
Nairobi is very
her
different.
Predecessors have performed and she has a bigger task.
Wow. Let me just say this, and maybe it's not to put down the women reps, but from Shebesh's term, I only remember the slap. From Pasaris's term, I remember that she's improved her golf game.
But you see, you're in media and you love drama, she said.
Okay, maybe that's the point. Anita, tell us, what do you plan to do differently?
I don't really want to be biased. I think the people who have preceded or go before me have tried within the small budget that have been allocated. One, you might not feel the impact of the women representative seat because a woman rep is given a budget of 7 million.
Okay.
In Nairobi, you have 85 wards, 17 constituencies. You cannot compare the budget of a woman rep to the budget of the governor, of your governor and your MP. Women rep, they don't have the CDF kit. So that's a bigger challenge of finance also on the part of the women rep. Women rep seat is a formative action seat, especially to the vulnerable in the society. These are widows, these are people with disabilities, and also youth. But on the youth,
even children.
It's around 20%, but majority is for women. So if you are not mashinani kabisa, you'll not understand about the issues of table banking. You'll not know the issue about Uwezo fund. You'll not understand the youth fund, GAF and stuff. So, and then the money itself is so minimal, so you might not feel a big impact. So I'm not saying they have not worked. They have tried best according to the ability. For me, I remember there's a time Pasaris was giving our youths television in Mukuru, it's Korokocho Coach. Up to today, I really don't understand why television. Honestly, why television? Because majority of the people who live in these places are living in iron sheet houses, and also tokens is expensive. Why do you give youths television?
A burden.
So I will not say she has not done something. Actually, the idea of wheelbarrows and kokoteni, I thought DP Ruto copied from her. Because there was a time also Pasaris was giving kokoteni and a wheelbarrow. So I think that is how she has tried in that in that area. That's what I've seen she has done. But in my term, given an opportunity to serve the people of Nairobi, first and foremost, the issue of sanitary towers. As much as people are saying we put it aside, kazi yetu ni kupeana sanitary towers. I'm looking forward to a Nairobi whereby sanitary towers will be free for our children. Sanitary towers will be free from the moment your child is 4 years old, up to paka penye ataweza, let's have provision of free sanitary towels. Let us have sanitary boots whereby you can just pick, you don't have to pay. There are boots everywhere. The same way we have free condoms, let people pick free sanitary towels. That is the Nairobi I look. I aspire to have. Another thing is the issue of sanitation. Oh, sweetheart, you have not walked our slums. People are still using flying toilets. Do not be lied. In this capital city, people are still using flying toilets. People are still using pit latrine in this generation. That is an issue that people tend to look at it as it's been myopic. But I don't know why. It has been an issue that has been disturbing me for the longest time. Youth empowerment. As a woman rep, you might not have the capability or the financial muscles to empower our youths, but you have a name that can help you knock these doors. We have so many industries in Nairobi. Industrial area imejaa na so many companies that in your capacity as the woman rep, you can work and ensure that at least few youths are being employed. Few youths get something to do. The issue of qualification have been scrapped off. Try and empower our youths in these slums. Majority of the youths who are using substance really don't want to do it, but now you're idle. You have nothing to do. I remember I once read a story of a guy who said he used to take 3 or 4 Piritons to sleep for 4 or 3 days, because when you are awake you don't even have money to eat. You better sleep for 3-4 days. There's some substance, I don't remember the name of the drugs. That's where our youths have reached. You better take a substance, you sleep for some time, you forget, you wake up in 2 days. Ujakula for the past 2 days, you are deeply dead asleep. It is the sad reality that is happening in this Nairobi. I want to focus on the issue of employment to ensure that we try and create employment for our youths. Sanitation, provision of sanitary towels. Most of our parents in the slums, mzazi, you take your kid to school, in the end of the day, they have nothing to do. You have taken loans, you have gone through the hard process of following up for bursaries. We already have educated people in this city. What we don't have is employment. Let us create employment, let us empower youths, let them find a way of doing something for themselves.
So elaborate. So that's the answer, Wairo. These are ladies who actually have a plan and have plans for these counties that they are vying in. Nelly Chepkemoi says, what a timely conversation with capable ladies. So that's an accolade to you, ladies.
Thank you.
Well done. Peter Njuguna says, so nice. Wairo J, Anita's policy on sanitary towel booths is the best thing I've heard from any politician in Kenya since devolution. Thank you, Wairo. It seems you understand us, ladies. So thank you so much for those comments. Those are the ones. Sarah Badatu says, hi, how are you guys doing? I think we're well. How are you, ladies?
Good, thank you.
And that's it. So you could give us a parting shot as we close our show today. Thank you so much for providing those insights. I'm sure now our viewers understand better what the seat of a woman rep is about. And for me personally, I'm disappointed that other women politicians are not holding you up and showing you the ropes. That has been, I hope it will be better with you coming in.
Yes, sure.
So give us a parting shot.
Thank you so much for joining us online. First and foremost, I would love to talk to the youth of this country. For the longest time, we have always been told it is our time, it is our time. But in real sense, what the politicians are telling us, it's our time to vote for them again. It is not actually for our time to be leaders. I want to assure you today, if they trust you with the decision of choosing the president of this country, the governor, the women rep, the MCAs, then you are at a position to be trusted with leadership. You are not too young to run for office. Don't frustrate those young people who are trying to represent you, because they understand better the challenges you are facing. Another thing, young people who are vying for this seat, please do not conform. You know, there's a way you get into this position, you forget where you come from.
Yeah.
Don't frustrate them, and when they get into power, let them not also conform. Because we want to bring up a generation of leaders who are manifesto based, issue based. Do not look at tribe, do not look political parties, you have to. Azima iko ni azimio. So don't look at people religion, don't look at people tribe. Ensure that whoever you are choosing is not because of the tribe or your religion. Choose leaders and not dealers. There are people who are good at speaking. There are politicians are basically, you can get someone who is so good at manipulation. And then there's someone who is not good with too much, you know, they're not that vocal, but they have your interest at heart. So I want to assure the youth of this nation that it is possible, it can be done. Come out in numbers, make the right decision.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Gedia, you can speak into the camera.
Thank you for joining us, and Pulse, thank you for this golden opportunity. Every opportunity I get, I call for peace, I call for love in Marsabit County. Just to get a bit off my pattern shot, you should cover the conflict in Marsabit. It's no news. For us, it's become part of us. We just say rest in peace, curse whoever did, and we move on with life. But I don't want to see a story. I'd like to see a media that actually brings it out, because we actually, our headquarters is a no-go zone. Like guys have closed shops. We can't even campaign, and I'm wondering, I am a Radani Baba person, but Baba, how will we come out and vote for you? We're scared of even opening our shops and going to work. So, I mean, ahead of elections, I call for peace, I call for coverage, just to speak about it. So going back to my pattern shot, I hate the phrase that women are enemies of each other. So if there is a woman on the ballot for the gubernatorial seat, senatorial seat, whatever seat, women, we cannot be living on this one seat that was given for us because we are weak. So tuonyeshane tu we can get into this. Vote for a woman. Of course, Baba and the rest of it, women. Vote for a woman on that ballot. Let us change the stereotype. Let us demystify it. I mean, let us not be enemies of each other. As I said, I want to mentor, I want to be a role model. So by this, I want other women, I want to light your candle so that we have a brighter room. It will not put off mine. So that's it. And for the youths, please look beyond the 500 bob, the 100 bob, and vote for someone that will actually create those jobs, because everyone is coming and saying job creation, but look at that person, especially those ones that are already incumbent. You've seen them for 5 years. Let's change. Let's teach this politician, including ourselves here. Give us 5 years, and if we don't perform, the next 5 years don't even listen to us. So let's vote for people because they perform. Otherwise, Ramadan Kareem to our Muslim brothers and sisters, and happy Easter to Christians. Na rada ni baba.
Rao.
Thank you.
Yes, rada ni rao, kwani ni kesho.
Wow, thank you so much, ladies. We are glad to have you here. And that's it from us today. Thank you for joining us, and watch out for the next edition of Pulse Siasa. Goodbye.
Thank you.